All right, so I said I would make a final route to add a person. We already have the endpoint on our backend, our API slash add person that's expecting a name. All right, let's make a front end route for that. Over on app, okay, so let's just copy this one and put slash add person, and this will be an add person component. All right, which of course is going to crash now because we haven't made it yet. Let's make a new page. This might only be a component, realistically, not a whole like route for this, but like, or maybe you do it in a modal. But yeah, I'll just follow the same kind of formatting I have here. Add person folder, new file, index.js. All right, make a component, which is a function. Export it, export default, add a person, make this return, well, it's going to end up being a form, so let's just return a form for now, and so that React stops yelling at me, let's make sure that we are importing it. Pages slash add person. All right, now it should stop breaking. All right, and if I go to add person, we go to my blank form, right? Like all that's in here should be a body and a form that's basically empty. Yeah, there we go. All right, makes sense. Add person. So what do we need in here? Well, we're going to need an input so that the user can type their user's name, and a submit button because it's a form. So let's start off by importing use state, and let's create our name, constant name, set name, not set interval, is equal to use state of empty string. All right. I like making a state called loading or something like that, or like, status or something like that. So I'm just going to make another state called status, set status equals use state of, and for now it's going to be string idle. All right. I mean, I guess I could make this like error and null or whatever, but I'll actually write it as the words. All right, so inside this form, we're going to need an input. It will have an on change. Whenever it changes, we're going to grab the target from event, and we're going to set name to target.value. While we're here, we should set the value of our input to the not the value, to name. All right, and all we've done now is made an input we can type in. All right, refresh, that should go away. Yeah, that was before I had the value inputted. So we want our inputs to be controlled so that we're always associating these to a state or some key of a state that is consistent. All right, this should be able to be a self-closing tag. There's no content. It's a void element. All right, let's make a button in here. Buttons by default, well, not even in forms, all buttons by default are of type submit. If you want it to behave not like a submit button, you have to say type button. So let's write the word submit in here. Now, I guess I should make it so that this button is disabled if status is not idle, right? So disabled equals status does not equal idle. Okay. Nice. And I guess this, maybe I'm going to have a few different options for this. So this could be idle. It could be submitting. And I guess it could be error. Would be another one. Okay. So let's say that this has, I'm just going to handle two things for now. Status equals idle. If it's idle, we'll have question mark. If it's idle, it'll say submit. Otherwise, I guess I could do an extra turn in here. Yeah, I'll just make it so it's either idle or submit or sending, right? Sending name. Okay. Our form is going to need a handle submit or an on submit. On submit equals handle submit. Right, constant const. Let's make this function. Since this is a form, we're going to want to grab its event object and execute event.prevent default. Otherwise, it's going to refresh our page, which we don't want. At this point, we're going to want to fetch. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set status to, what was it, sending? Okay, actually I didn't. It's just idle down here. Submitting. Okay. Excuse me. So here, if I submit, hold on, I got one too many submits here. All right. Good. So if I click on the submit button, it says sending name and it's disabled, which is good. You don't want a form to not be disabled while it's submitting. Otherwise, users can mash that button, and you don't want to flood your server with, especially if you're not communicating with them that it's happening. They're like, did I click it? And they're going to click it again. They're going to send two names over. All right. So now we're going to be doing our fetch. Should I do this with an asynchronous function? I guess so. Constant send name equals, this is going to be an async function. And let's just execute it right away. All right. So we've already set the status to that. So let's make our try block and our catch. And we don't need a finally here. Let's console.error and let's I guess set status to error. This shouldn't happen, but I mean, realistically, you probably want to make a paragraph that conditionally renders if there's an error, and then set the error.message into it. Yeah, just trying to make sure I can actually submit things here. So in our try, we'll run a fetch /API/add person, I think it was. Let me just check my add person. Yeah. Okay. So that's the location. Now our object is going to have to be in here. It will have a method of post with options. No, it's not options, it's headers. Of content dash type of application/JSON, and I don't think we need the accept in there. I mean, yeah, whatever. You could also put accept of application JSON. Realistically, our backend is not looking at this. It's just always JSONing back over responses. What am I missing? The body. That'd be good. The body is going to be JSON.stringify, and what is it expecting? It's expecting, oh, just a key of name. All right, so then it's going to have, well, our variable's already named, so it's literally just the object of key name. All right, so we should await, we're in a try block, so constant response equals fetch of this. If response.ok, we're going to do something. Otherwise, we're going to throw a new error. Response dot. I guess let's put in the status in there, just so that we know what the status code that we got from the back end is. That'll get caught by this. All right, and if we're good, you know what? I guess we'll navigate. Let's import use navigate. Let's execute it. Constant navigate is equal to use navigate, and over here, when we successfully create one, let's navigate to /people. I think it's people. People, yeah. That way we'll immediately see our new person. Okay, let's take it for a spin and see what I did wrong. I guess we shouldn't. Well, if I try this right now, my backend's going to throw an error because we haven't submitted anything. Like the initial value is an empty string, and that's falsy. So this should be disabled if status does not equal idle or not name. So if name is falsy. So right now it's that, and let's add Tammy. Submits. All right. Do error send name. Okay. So where's our error? Let's do some console logs. Will we console log this error? What's the name? Is there an error in our server? Our server wasn't hit. Was it not hit? I thought it was hit. Did I miss? Did I do the wrong URL? I guess. Slash. It's a get. That's a get. Post. Slash API slash add person. All right. Going back over here. That looks the same to me. All right. Fetch method post content type application JSON body is JSON.stringify of name. Okay. Let me. I guess we're hitting our else over here. Let's log our response. Refresh this. Add some random person's name. Promise is pending. Oh, I didn't await it, did I? Oh my goodness. Well, now we probably have a gibberish name in Mongo as well as Tammy. Always not awaiting those things, eh? Alright, there's Tammy and HubJ. Alright, well, should work now. Let's go and add Kermit. Oh yeah, it's still sending because I never managed that error. Submit Kermit, and it goes over, and now here's our people. Okay, so don't forget to await your promises, otherwise you're left with pending promises and you're confused. Twice I did that, I think. Anyhow, so yeah, so that's how you do a post with a form, right? Make sure you make use of the on submit, and that way you can leverage required fields and whatnot. Yeah. All right, that's it. Hopefully this helps you set up a MERN stack. From there, properly build out some routes, a nav bar, have links that you can navigate your site around. Add some CSS because I added 0. Oh, and I guess keep pushing to GitHub so that you don't lose your work if your computer blows up. Cool. Happy coding. I have to look for the stop button. There.